Santa invented Spielberg and microchips.
Santa invented Coca-Cola and aerobics.
He made the Iron Curtain and the Gremlins too. Fake butter and AIDS and Twin Peaks.
What are your quintessential J.K. Simmons performances? Because he's been with us for a long time.
Oh.
He's worked with many of the great directors. He's, I guess, primarily film. I can't remember him being on TV, though certainly... Oh, he's on like a couple episodes of Party Down. Which he's very funny on, as you might have... Oh, he's on BoJack Horseman. How could I forget? As
That's
Larry
definitely
Turtletop.
a show that I've seen.
I'm taking that you haven't seen BoJack Horseman.
Nope. I tried to get it. I really did. I tried.
And you didn't go.
And it didn't stick. It didn't stick.
How far did you make it? I'm just curious.
I think the first episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it did. It did. I think you need a little more time than that. To be fair, I don't really remember the first season of BoJack Horseman at all because I was recovering from second-degree burns when I was watching it. So I was like on a lot of pain medication. So like the first season of BoJack Horseman might as well not exist for me. And when we're like late in season 6 of BoJack Horseman and they're like bringing back characters from it, I'm like, who is this? And my partner at the time had to be like, they're from like you don't remember that from the first season? I was like, I don't remember fucking anything from the first season because of my friend Vicodin, actually.
Probably the best way to watch that, honestly.
Honestly, especially because like the second to last episode is just like a drug trip to the edge of BoJack Horseman's soul. So like that was honestly the right way to do it, I think.
He's in Spider-Man and he's in Whiplash.
Those are two excellent
of the things that pop up. Yeah.
One for which he won an Oscar, and another for which he should have won an Oscar for his performance as J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
Editor-in-chief of the Daily Bugle. There's still time to get a retroactive for them, for the Academy.
He's still like portraying fucking J. Jonah Jameson in the new ones.
Yeah, but like, I want you to be honest with me. Do you think like John Watts and Kevin Feige are going to give him the juicy material that Sam Raimi did? I didn't see this movie and you did. Does he do anything in this movie?
He does the same.
He does the same thing?
The same thing, yeah.
But does it have the indelible charm? Does it feel...
No.
I don't know.
No. He's more antagonistic, if that's possible.
than he was in
very little threat. Yeah.
Yeah, previously he loved Spider-Man. Now it seems as if he thinks he is a threat and a menace. Okay. So I guess there's still time if they want to keep doing this. He could still win. Or like if the Academy sits down, for their screening of No Way Home, I guess to like judge its visual effects for your consideration. And unless Marvel releases one of its hilarious for your consideration posters for Spider-Man, have you ever seen Marvel's for your consideration posters?
I don't think so.
I
probably have.
So funny. The one for, I'm gonna try and find it and send it to you. Avengers Endgame for your consideration is like a moody shot of. Oh, I found it! Yay! It's so funny that they're like, "Please give us an Oscar," and it looks like it's from like Steve McQueen's Hunger. It's so funny. It's like Tony Stark just like at the end of his rope looking at a helmet. Oh fuck! I have to send this to you right now. It's so funny. Oh god. Oh god. There we go. In the Skype chat. In the fucking it's black and white. It's so like it's so sparse. It looks like the fucking, I don't know, like nymphomaniac character posters or something. It's so fucking funny. And when Kevin Feige every year is like, there's an anti-superhero bias at the Oscars. They don't give us, and I'm like, maybe make a better movie, Kev. I'm not saying everything that's won an Oscar is like great, would never say that about the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. However, if you want to win Oscars, maybe don't make Spider-Man Far Way Home of the quality at which you made it. Baby.
Mhm.
Sorry.
No.
I always loved J.K. Simmons in Burn After Reading, which is not a movie that I am crazy about. But
Is Jake Simmons in that?
he is. He's only at like the end. He has 2 scenes
Oh, he's
where
oh,
he works for like the
yeah.
FBI or the CIA or something.
Yeah.
And like this guy named Palmer keeps coming in and giving him reports about the events of the movie Burn After Reading. And one of them is
Yeah.
like in the middle of the movie, and the one of them is at the end where they're like, yeah, Oswald, he killed this guy, and then she went crazy and ran away. And he's like, what did we learn here, Palmer? I guess we learned not to fucking do it again. He kills. And obviously he's great in Whiplash.
Classic.
Obviously he was.
Yeah.
Obviously that was great. J.K. Simmons, one of my favorite guys. Every time he pops up, I'm like, this scene's gonna be good. Because here's my boy.
I just wish he would do more like Whiplash, I think.
I agree.
Not like there's so much there. And he just keeps doing, like, he did Invincible, I think, right?
What?
He did Invincible, the TV show. Right?
Oh, I forget about that show.
The-
The superhero one. When you said Invincible, I
Yeah.
thought about the Mark Wahlberg football movie.
Yeah,
I was
the subtle
like,
cameo in that one.
maybe he did. All right, he was in Juno. Now I'm on the man's IMDb.
Oh,
You're
he
right.
was in Juno.
He wasn't Invincible, that show I didn't watch.
You don't need to. No.
What if Superman was a fucked up guy, actually? I love that.
And I just watched The
Amazon-
Boys. I don't know.
Yeah, Amazon made 2 What If Superman Was a Fucked Up Guy shows at the same time. It's it's like, it's really lazy. Maybe those shows are good, but I was like, come on, guys. Come on.
I like The Boys.
Heard it's good.
I'll continue to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, heard that one is quite good, but I'm sorry. I have been into comics for a long time, and the What If Superman Was a Fucked Up Guy thing was like so 20 years ago. I'm like, I'm not into it anymore. But anyway, sorry. Oh, he's in Palm Springs. Did you see Palm Springs?
I did see Palm Springs.
He was
the
so
other guy.
good. He was the other
good in that
guy.
one.
He was
Yeah.
Roy. He was the fucked up guy who kept coming after him. That movie was good. I'm gonna watch that again.
I like that movie.
I thought it was
That was a
very
good
fun.
one.
It was a winner.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, let's. I think we got it. I think we did all right. I finally did what I was fearing I would do, and I kicked the microphone cord
Oh no.
so hard that it came unplugged. So I had to rectify that. And now we're good. And I'm finally moving it out of the way of my own dangling feet. I am finally taking proactive steps to fix problems in my life. I am no longer wallowing and feeling stuck. I am trying to take proactive steps to make a better life for myself.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Oh, fuck.
That's true.
You have done, to my knowledge, 1 podcast.
That's not true.
Whoa, you've done more than 1.
Whoa. Oh.
Oh my god. You are a professional, I think, actually. I think you're now officially a professional.
Was on a Kansas City Royals podcast at one point, giving my opinion on someone who does not watch the Royals and them winning the whatchamacallit, the World Series.
The baseball Oscars.
The baseball thing. The game.
The baseball thing.
Yeah. That one game that they play once a year.
Yeah, fantastic. So great. Things are going well on the first episode of Waiting for Laura, a Twin Peaks podcast, where I am finally going to watch Twin Peaks. I am, of course, TV's Kevin Lanigan, and I am the one who put the taxidermy deer head on the table in the bank safety deposit box room. That was me.
You know, it was a good joke. It was very funny.
It was a good prank
Cool.
on my part,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. So
Who are you?
I don't know. Who knows? I'm Emma, and I have seen Twin Peaks. I am very excited to watch Kevin watch Twin Peaks and hear everything that he has to say about it. Very
Yes.
excited.
All of my great thoughts.
Yeah. I was the one flickering the lights in Laura's mortuary room.
That was you. You were
That was me.
You were Nosferatu in that one SpongeBob episode. Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Great. So I think, and for those of you on the Patreon, welcome behind the paywall. I've also probably put this episode out on all the free feeds as well to entice you, to lure you behind the paywall with a little taste. With a little sample platter, with a little amuse-bouche. You come behind the paywall, you pay for the show. And it's great. It's fun back here. For as little as $1 a month, you can listen to Emma and I watch Twin Peaks. Myself, largely for the first time, and I'll explain that in a sec. Emma, you've been through the show. Tell me about your Twin Peaks life. Tell me about your Twin Peaks journey.
Oh man, my Twin Peaks life, my journey started when I was in college. I think it wasn't super early. I know my mom was a really big fan of it, and we had the cassette of the soundtrack that would be playing. My mom would play it in the car when I was a kid. So the sounds, like the theme song, and I think her name was Julie Cruz, the woman who would sing the falling song. I think at the end of this episode she sang that, but that might be the second episode, I can't remember. So that was like the soundtrack, partial soundtrack, until my mom upgraded to a non-cassette player car. But no, I started watching it in college, got through it, and then was in love with it. I think I did several papers on it in film school. And when The Return came out, it was my shit. And I probably couldn't even tell you how many times I've seen this series. It's probably one of my favorites. Like, top 5 for sure.
Top 5 all time.
So good. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's great. Great. And so you are the keeper of the secrets. You hold a lot of Twin Peaks knowledge to your heart. I think we're going to do this largely just conversing about episodes we've already talked about for the show. So even though Emma obviously has a lot of knowledge and I myself know a few things, I think we're going to, unlike the Community podcast, I think we're going to do this with the impression that there might be other people doing this for the first time as well, like watching along for the first time, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, no problem.
No strong opinions from Emma. Fantastic.
Hey, you're the personality here.
I guess so. That's okay. So a little bit about my own Twin Peaks journey. There's not much of it. I think I've seen the first 3 episodes like 3 or 4 times at this point, in what I call an IT crowd scenario, because that is exactly what I've seen of the IT crowd as well. I started it once in college, given it the old college try, and it just did not stick for me in a way I wanted it to. And then in my early podcasting life, the second podcast I ever tried to really get off the ground was a Twin Peaks podcast, where we were also going to watch and talk about Twin Peaks, and then scheduling and one of the co-hosts ended up being pretty unstable, so we decided to not continue with the Twin Peaks podcast. But now is my redemption arc. Now is my time, as I'm looking for various ways and excuses to hang out and talk with Emma. This sort of spurned up. I attempted to incept this into her brain for a very long time, and it seems as if my efforts, much like the characters in Inception, have been rewarded, paid off in the end. The little top that tells me whether or not Emma will do a Twin Peaks podcast. It fell over. It fall down.
I pushed it over. I did.
You shoved it over.
I shoved the table. Yeah.
That like minute frame at the end of Inception where you're like, did it move? Oh. Yeah. People fucking burning holes in their DVDs, just like trying to frame skip, find that evidence. An event previously seen in X-Men: The Last Stand, where it appears that Magneto has lost his powers, but you see he maybe moved that chess piece with his magnet powers. Maybe, you don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe it moved a little bit, and then by the next movie he just has them back, and it's never addressed again. It's never brought up one at all. So this is fun, and Twin Peaks is a lot like the Fox X-Men franchise in that it was very popular when it dropped.
1989.
1980? Right? No, 1990. This is a non-80s. And yes, this pilot would have been filmed in late 1989, then edited, because it is essentially a feature film. It is an hour and a half long. It is, of course, Pilot, aka Northwest Passage, directed by David Lynch, written by Mark Frost and David Lynch. Originally aired on Sunday, April 8th, 1990. So this was like this was CBS's night. It was just airing this pilot of Twin Peaks that would come back 4 days later for like its regular spot. But this was like a Sunday night preview event watched by 35 million people live, which nothing reaches those numbers anymore. Absolutely nothing. For comparison, on the Community podcast we just got done with, the average viewer was about 2 million people, I think. So this was just a vast gulf. I don't think it's up there in like the most watched TV events of all time, like the finale of MASH or what have you. But 35 million people is nothing to spit at. I'm
curious to see how it drops off. How quickly
pretty precipitously and soon, but still, but like it throughout the first season, it really keeps with a solid 20 million per episode, which I think is still was obviously pretty good. It was a hit show. It was very popular, which in some ways is kind of mystifying to me that this was very popular, not because it is not good, but because David Lynch made it, and he's weird. He makes weird, off-putting stuff intentionally. And it's weird that this played like fucking Titanic. That this played like the fucking Walking Dead or Game of Thrones or the fucking Big Bang Theory. Before them, there was Twin fucking Peaks.
I think I'd love to see how they advertised it, honestly.
That would be something.
Because you've got like David Lynch, and you've got his like, all of his weird shit, but it's also written by Mark Frost, who was like David Lynch's leash as far as like toning down all that weird shit. It was a soap opera, I think, and I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't advertise it as a soap opera. And especially towards the end of this episode, they definitely set up like all the affairs and all of this stuff, all the juicy stuff outside of Laura's murder, that like I feel like people stayed with it to know who killed Laura, but also to know like how this jungle of thorns just like completely unravels.
Absolutely. So in the David Lynch chronology, I think this comes at an interesting place, because obviously there's Eraserhead in 77, then Elephant Man, and then Dune, and then Blue Velvet is 86. This series debuts the same year as my personal favorite David Lynch film, Wild at Heart. A film I adore. Easily my favorite Lynch work, and it stars Nicolas Cage, Willem Dafoe, and Laura Dern. If you had any questions as to why, this one was my favorite. Those are
I think Blue Velvet's my favorite.
I think that is sort of his masterpiece. His best well-known film. Yeah, exactly. It's his like
Taxi Driver or his Goodfellas or something, you know, if you want to compare it to my boy Marty. It's, yeah, so that's where that comes along. I mean, very different gentlemen. I'm just trying to, like, what his most upheld work, at least outside of Twin Peaks. Though many refer to Twin Peaks: The Return as his true masterwork, and I'll be the judge of that.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure
I
you
will
judge it. Yeah. I don't know if I would agree with that. I don't know. I liked it. This first season is delightful. The Return is super good, and we'll get to that. I'm assuming we'll get to that, but no, this first season, especially the first pilot episode, really is like almost perfect. It's so good.
It's pretty excellent. The first couple times I watched it, I found it pretty slow. I found it like very lethargic, you know, like Dale Cooper doesn't even come in for the first half hour in a real like Marge Gunderson Fargo situation. But honestly, in the years that have followed my initial attempt to watch Twin Peaks, I've tried to watch a lot of Netflix originals. And honestly, compared to most Netflix shows, Twin Peaks moves at a lightning fast pace. Twin Peaks fucking cooks in a way no Netflix show does. In 1990.
Netflix actually made it, we wouldn't be introduced, I think, to Dale Cooper until episode 4, at least. Like
my thinking, because now apparently my brain is broken and this is what I do, is like the comparison I've always used is like if Community were a Netflix show, they would not become a study group until the end of the first season as opposed to the end of the first episode. I honestly think if Twin Peaks were a Netflix original, Dale Cooper would come in at the end of the first episode at the earliest possible moment. We would just be wasting time. I don't know why Netflix's business model, its artistic strategy is waste everyone's time.
The plots that they're deciding to go with are nothing. They have like the plot is not the like I don't even know what I want to say about that, but it's like
they're not plots that can stretch to 8 to 10 hours.
They're not focusing on what's interesting about the story that they're trying to tell. They're focusing on the exposition of the story that they're trying to tell, and they just never get to the story that they're trying to tell.
99% of Netflix series should have been movies, right? They just don't have the amount of story to cover 8 to 10 hours. They just don't. And there are very, very few, like the Witcher or the aforementioned BoJack Horseman, where I'm like, you have enough story. This is not boring. This is you're filling up your time here. I don't know. Do you wanna dive on in? Do you want to talk about the events of Pilot, aka Northwest Passage?
Yeah, let's go for it.
So we open on a shot of a bird. What does it mean? What does it mean as a bird slowly fades to a logging mill?
You've seen Blue Velvet?
Yes,
right?
I have.
So, like, I think it's in the beginning of Blue Velvet. There is also a robin.
He likes a robin.
He likes birds.
He likes a bird.
He likes birds. What does it mean?
What does it mean? He likes to pan underneath the suburban mowed lawns and find a bunch of fucking worms down there. He loves to do it. I guess if when people salaciously and wrongfully referred to WandaVision as being Lynchian, I guess that's what they were referring to, which was his because someone had told them once that Blue Velvet was about suburbia, right? If you have seen any of David Lynch's work, you would never call WandaVision Lynchian. But he likes to dive under these sort of idyllic circumstances and find the fucking rats underneath, Yeah. That everything is kind of fucked, and Kyle MacLachlan in Blue Velvet finding a severed ear with ants crawling all over it. The equivalent of that, I suppose, is finding Laura Palmer dead, wrapped in plastic.
She's dead. Wrapped in
She's
plastic.
dead. What a guy.
Pete Martell is so, he's like, if we ever rank our characters for Twin Peaks, he is near my top. He is so funny. He's such a good character.
So he's a guy, he comes back. Because I didn't notice him, I didn't clock him a lot in this episode. This episode was a lot of, like, sexy teen drama.
Yeah. The trash bit of the show, in my opinion. But
the trash bit is the sexy teen drama?
Oh, yeah. It's pointless.
Okay, yeah, because I did not find it phenomenally interesting.
No. That's like one end. So you've got the adult, like trashy adult drama, and you've got the trashy teen drama, and it's like neither of those I give two shits about. But I think what bothers me more is the teen, Donna and James. I just can't. I can't with that.
We'll get to it. It's honestly like I know there is interesting stuff in the last 30 minutes of this episode, but I think the first hour is so strong, and I struggle a lot with, like, once we get to the point where, like, they're burying lockets in the wood, I'm like, I don't know about this so much. But this episode is so strewn with these, like, interesting details, and we've talked about them a little bit, these, like, interesting setting choices, these interesting, like, ways to dress the scene to, like, make them immediately visually interesting, but also, like, be thematically relevant to, like, the kind of story that you're telling. So, like, the deer head on the bank counter that I cited earlier was, like, is yes funny, but it is also, like, illustrative of, like, this town is not ready for what is what is, like, bubbling under the surface, right? Like, we are a town where, like, the police secretary has time to stack up donuts in these little piles. They are not ready for, like, the level of shit that is about to fucking blow all over them. It's wild. But yes, we get the death of Laura Palmer. We then spend the next 20 minutes watching people react to learning that Laura Palmer is dead. Right? And, you know,
honestly, like, that I feel like is one of my favorite and most memorable parts of the entire series is each person's, like, reaction to Laura's death, especially Leland, her dad. Which is just that, I mean, that's rife with, like, context and subtext. The further you get into the series is his reaction to it. It's just beautiful. I love it. And when they're in class and they have I guess it's the principal that, like, announces it over the intercom, and it's like as he's announcing it, like, James and Donna see that girl scream across the, like, courtyard outside. It's just like, it's so,
and they know what's up, right? Like, they know what's up immediately.
And so that's fascinating too.
It is really well done. The scene where, like, Mother Palmer is, like, looking around for her, that is very distressing to me.
Her entire character drives me
it's nuts. Very upsetting. It's like, just like putting yourself in her shoes for a brief empathetic moment. You're like, oh fuck, that is, like,
fuck out of here.
That is the number one scariest thing in the entire world, right? And then we go to Leland, who is, like, at a with a bunch of Norwegian businessmen in the local hotel. Is that the hotel that Dale is going to be put up into? Is that the Great Northern?
Yeah. It's, I think, the only hotel in the city, which happens to be, like, this insane luxury, like, lodge that's located at the top of a waterfall. Like,
right,
ridiculous.
It's not a shitty motel. It's actually, like, a beautiful luxury situation. Yes, so we get all these, like, characterful introductions of these teens. Even if I am not particularly currently interested in any of them, but I at least know their deal. I'm not waiting to find out what the fuck they're all about. We understand everything we need to know about Bobby from this introduction, that he's, like, having this, it's not an affair if you're not married, but, like, he's cheating on Laura with the waitress at the local diner. This trucks in one of my favorite tropes, which is high school teens getting up to a lot of business before school, which I can't speak to your personal experience. I was not up to anything before school. I got up as late as I possibly could. Yeah. I was not going to the diner to have breakfast, going back to my mistress's house to fuck her, and then going to school. I was not doing that.
Well, these are also like actors that are like 25 years old. And so like, 100%. And it had this like, even now, I feel like we have these actors that are portrayed as adults with adult like tendencies and adult habits, but they still have to somehow go to school around like at one point in the day.
Right, you have like James, that 35-year-old man with the incredible forehead. This biker lad, like whatever.
Who's just friends with all the other bikers in town that are somehow also just not in school.
Right, mystifying, wild. You get Donna, as played by Laura Flynn Boyle, who we all know from Wayne's World. We all know her from Wayne's World as Stacy, the psycho hose beast. An incredible performance. So sad they couldn't get her back for Wayne's World 2. We love it. And we get Audrey, who is hot. That's sort of her.
Yeah.
That's sort of her big character trait.
The trope of innocence and the potential trope for loss of innocence throughout the first series, but we'll get to that.
Interesting.
But, I mean, she's a brat. She is a well-written brat, and it drives me nuts. She absolutely drives me nuts.
Right, she has money. She's hot and she knows it. She's a classic brat, a true brat.
Her introduction when like the teacher is calling off like names for who's here, she says "here" with like quotations. Is so fucking funny to me. Here.
Am I really here?
Are any of us
present? Are any of us present? Okay. Yeah. My parents live in Wyoming. I live in the moment. Yeah, perfect. I'm so sorry that I quoted How I Met Your Mother on this podcast. I'll never do it again.
That's fine. It'll be lost on me, so that's up to you.
Good for you, honestly. Aged like fucking milk. Anyway, moving on. It somehow it had worse politics than Friends, and like you'd think that would be like impossible, but it did.
Still, also another show that I really did not watch.
Oh well,
I was busy watching Twin Peaks.
Yeah, over and over and over again, right? When all these woke teens were getting really into Friends for whatever reason, you were watching Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks and Frasier. That's me.
I think you take one part Twin Peaks, you take 2 parts Frasier, and then you have Emma.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that simple. Yeah.
Right. Who else we got? We have what is he? Sheriff Harry S. Truman.
Oh, Harry S. Truman. Yeah.
ACAB, especially Harry S. Truman.
But not Harry.
I don't care about this man. He's incompetent. He's ineffectual. He seems nice enough. This myth of like the impossibly nice small town sheriff, giving off big James
pragmatic.
Marsden, Sonic the Hedgehog energy here. Yeah.
He's a pretty pragmatic but emotionally driven sheriff, and that's really all you can hope for with a small town.
I guess in a town like Twin Peaks, right? Because I remember small town cops, and they were not reminiscent of Harry S. Truman. So I guess we should be lucky. I love his secretary. She is
what's her name?
Very
what's
funny.
Her name? Kitty?
Kitty? Something like that. Kitty from Arrested Development.
Lovely.
That sounds right. That sounds good. She's great. I love her.
No.
I will protect her with my entire life, actually. She has a 3-minute preamble to transferring the phone call to a fucking like a different phone. It's great. It's all good.
Lucy. Her name's Lucy.
Lucy. There we go.
Yeah.
I think you were thinking of Arrested Development, actually.
I was thinking of it.
There's that great scene in the pilot where she says, "Yeah, exactly, right. It's the same hair." Yeah. And then there is that scene in the pilot where she says, Harry, say goodbye to these, and she fucking pulls up her shirt. We all remember it. It's a great scene, and they realize
So glad
pretty
they
quickly.
redid it in Arrested Development.
Yeah, it is an homage to Twin Peaks. But going back to those details, like the flickering lights in the morgue are another of these details that like I love, and it didn't quite activate my epilepsy, which I was very thankful for. I appreciate
That's
that.
good.
And
good.
but it's so, again, it's like this rinky-dink town where like the lights in the morgue don't even work. It's like we are really setting this up. I didn't even see a single horse, much less to make this a one-horse town. You know, like it's just the fucking middle of nowhere with its lumber mill, with its like owned by that hot lady. I didn't
Josie
didn't
Packard.
catch her name.
Yeah.
She seems cool. All about it. We love it.
She is. Yeah.
She is what she is. And it's exquisite. And we are starting to get, even in this first episode, ideas that this was more than just like a simple killing of a teenage girl. As much as that is always like terrible, there are, you don't get quite a supernatural vibe from this first episode, but there is like an implication of something much, much bigger than, I don't know, she met the wrong person in the woods, right? Like much, much bigger than that. There are...
Yeah, and that's what it starts to do. It starts to unravel all of the working figures in her life and how her death like completely explodes the top off of like how the wormy underground of this like quote unquote small innocent town is actually not that at all whatsoever. And that's, I think, the simplest reading of it, but with this first pilot, them not knowing exactly, you know, if they were going to get picked up or not, how they were going to initially introduce it.
Right, for sure. This gives you, again, not wasting my time like Netflix, like really getting into at least, you know, these first ideas, and it'll be interesting to perhaps something to this effect that I simply do not, but like I sometimes when they're writing these mystery shows, they don't actually have an answer to the mystery that they are currently writing.
I do have an answer to that, and I think it's interesting. I was reading about this morning, and apparently when they were filming this pilot, the network made them film the ending for an international release. So they knew from the very beginning how they were going to end it. Or not end it, but expose Laura's killer. Which, I mean, if you watch the second season, then that is the ending to me. But they might as well just wrap it up at that point. But I think you can tell. I think you can tell they knew.
Yeah. Okay, so you feel a distinctly plotted. At least they know the end point. If they maybe add some details as they go along.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite as like obvious going into it, but as each episode I think goes, but yeah, I'd be curious to like see how you watch it the second time around.
Sure, my inevitable second go on Twin Peaks.
I mean,
inevitable. The return is what I'm really excited to get to, and I know that will be quite some time. But the return is what is most enticing to me at the end of all this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that I'm like itching to burn through the original series that was so iconic, was so popular, because I'm sure there's going to be much to love in there, but it's like, oh, you're telling me they brought this back almost 30 years later with like Michael Cera and Matthew Lillard? Like, you know, like Amanda Seyfried is on this show at some point. You know, obviously that is enticing to me in a particular sort of way. And the vagaries I've heard about the return are so fucking interesting to me. But I'm excited to take the entire journey. Yeah. But we haven't even really talked about the like true perhaps brilliant stroke of this pilot. The one character hook that is instantly like iconic and memorable from Twin Peaks, which is of course Special Agent Dale Cooper from the FBI, the only good Fed. There is one good Fed, and his name is Special Agent Dale Cooper. And what a guy!
What a special little guy. I think he is like, to me, a masterclass in writing a good character, because he gets his character done. He gets like his like motivations. He's got his motitions for being there, but he is so focused on like how wonderful the space that he is in that it completely it tells you more about his character, him being so focused on the Douglas firs and the pie and the coffee, that it's so lovely. So
he loves the details, you know.
Yeah.
He's interested. He is a man in search of information and pleasures, right? And finds this town so instantly charming and all of these these different. What, this is Pacific Northwest, right? Obviously.
Yeah. Washington State.
A long way from Quantico.
Straight on the, I think, within the canon of the show, Twin Peaks is supposed to be like right underneath the border of Canada. So it's
gotcha.
Yeah.
So like up in Washington, Twilight territory.
But really north,
Yeah, super north,
remote,
Twilight Town, yeah. And in the industries. I mean, it's truly like this guy shows up instantly, and it really is like Marge Gunderson, who would show up 6 years later in Fargo, and just like, again, a character you completely understand from the moment they enter the screen, through like a perfect synthesis of action and writing, or actor and writing, right? Like, it is the tenor of his voice, this like I cannot describe the way he speaks in a particular. It's like, it's almost kind of melodic. Like, it has a sort of like woodwind quality to it, in like in the pitch and the rhythm of his speech. But like his dialogue speaking into the tape recorder to Diane, and you know he is like an FBI agent from his introduction, and of course his like Men in Black, outfit. But also this like sing-songy way that he talks about pie, and he's just so enthusiastic about the pie. And I know I've compared him to Marge, but honestly, getting pretty big Columbo vibes from this guy. Getting pretty big Lieutenant Frank Columbo vibes. And it's not just because I have brain poisoning, it's because in a similar sort of way, the way that now you haven't seen any Columbo, which will be rectified at some point, but the way that Columbo will like presents as this strange figure that you think you have the upper hand on, because he seems so immediately like imbecilic or childish, or presents himself in a non-threatening way, very untraditional of an FBI agent. You think you have the upper hand on him, but he is noticing details and circling around on things that you could not have noticed him picking up on, because he presents as so as if he doesn't know what's going on, as if he's like so distracted by the pie and the coffee that he doesn't notice the fucking reflection of a motorcycle in a girl's eyeball.
That scene, that reminds me of that scene where he is like kind of interrogating Bobby, and I'll have to find the like primary source in which I am remembering Kyle MacLachlan talking about how he was directed by David Lynch to approach this scene as very aggressive, as like macho, like FBI guy trying to intimidate Bobby, and instead he approached it with this like calm, really like stoic, like all-knowing, smiley, like FBI agent. to Bobby, and it ended up working so well that I think that they I don't know if they in the order in which they filmed it or if they refilmed like other scenes with him in it after this one, but it's like I think it's all of Dale Cooper's like special little quirks came from Kyle MacLachlan. And I think that's
you should go over there and be macho. You should go be a man's man. And Kyle, of course, rejects that.
He says no.
You know, he says no, and obviously his instincts were fucking absolutely correct. To present this in a non-traditional way, it just makes it so instantly iconic, so instantly unique, I mean, there's a reason that like he is the breakout character of Twin Peaks, right? And obviously he is as close as this show has to like a main character, at least so far. I don't know if it's obviously a large ensemble show, but he is the investigator trying to solve the mystery, right? And we have an ensemble of teens, and he is again how Marge is the main character of Fargo, even though she is not perhaps even the most screen time in the movie.
And I think like she shares, and just like Dale Cooper, I think he shares the spotlight, but that duo of like sharing the spotlight, that other person rotates with whoever's story we're focusing on. So it's like Dale and then, or I would even argue like Dale and Laura are both the like main characters, obviously, and maybe one and the same, as far as like how we're given information about Laura and given her story, I guess. That sounds silly, but
no, but you're right, and you wouldn't expect the corpse to have a lot of role to play in the rest of the show, but like I feel like we're going to get a lot of appearances from this actor, even if it's in like flashbacks or memories or videotape or that one image that I've seen that I'm not going to talk about because there again might be people who haven't seen it. But it's so perfectly presented, as he examines each element that comes out of the bag and describes it in detail. Diane, I'm holding a box of chocolate bunnies, in
my hand I'm holding a box of chocolate bunnies, then we just cut.
Diane, it's very funny. It also much needed comedic relief in the middle of this very dour, serious, heavy show, right? After we've just watched 10 people react to a 17-year-old's death, getting the levity of Dale Cooper is important without undercutting the severity. It doesn't lower the stakes having this guy around.
Yeah.
But all that is interesting. We get our first glimpse of the diary of Laura Palmer, which you can read. You can buy from your local bookstore.
Have you read it?
You have? No, I haven't read the diary of Laura Palmer.
You've read the diary of Laura Palmer, but you have not seen the show. You were just
I thought the diary was just fucking interesting to me.
Literature written.
I started with the novels and I worked my way to the show. I think I'm sure there's some lunatic who's done that, right? They just picked up that book not knowing what it was, and then they're like, "Wait, there's a whole show? There's a show about this? There's a show about this?
There's a show based on the book? Whoa!
There's a show about this book?
There's also a book of Dale Cooper's tapes to Laura, or not Laura, Diane. Yeah, there's a whole book,
transcript.
Yeah, I think they were released simultaneously.
Anything to keep that merchandising dollar going, you know what I mean? Just anything to keep the fucking money machine a-printing.
And I think Mark Frost just released another dossier of Twin Peaks, which is pretty cool.
There's definitely several, behind-the-scenes books that they have released. And
it's like the dossier of like the mythology of Twin Peaks.
Like a lore book.
Yeah. All that
lore. If you wanted to set a D&D campaign in the world of Twin Peaks, you finally have the lore Bible to make that work.
I would do.
I've had worse ideas. And Anyway, so that's all good. But yeah, go to your local Barnes and Noble, pick up a copy of this teenage girl's diary, because you can do it. This one is fictional. The Diary of Anne Frank is real, but edited, but real.
Nice double feature.
Yeah, that's a good book club, I think, actually. Brisk reads, I think, not especially long.
Oh yeah, neither of those are heavy at all whatsoever.
No. Real light summer
teenage
reading.
Girls. Yeah.
Poolside reading about a couple of teens.
Beach read.
And a real beach read, I think. That, and this one summer, once you're done with the latest John Grisham, you can pick up fucking it's so I know that like people gobble up true crime. It is very fascinating that like a show about just like the death of a teenage girl became one of the most iconic pieces of television of all time. And like not only that, but a profoundly well watched piece of television. Like was a huge success while it was on. But again, the most successful podcasts are about actual murders. So like I guess that's something we like. I guess that's something we eat
obviously. Yeah. I think that's the biggest one of the biggest pulls for this show anyway, and I think why it keeps like reviving itself outside of the aesthetics that were established in the show. I think at the time like it was just so the aesthetics are very like 1960s, like early 70s, like plaid, like pinks and reds and like suits and big shoulder pads and all this stuff. And I think that was a gentle pull in the 90s because that type of fashion was revived. And then I think even in like the 2010s when this kind of came back around, that same type of fashion sense was coming back around as well. But then I think you also have that like murder, true crime aspect of it. That was just another pull. And it's probably, probably going to come back around too, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's the 30-year cycle of culture or whatever. We're suddenly getting a lot of Princess Diana content, We're suddenly getting a lot of it, and she died in, 93, and it's now 2021, so it's like, 30-year culture cycle, it just loops back around, Back to the Future is about the 50s or whatever, the 80s to the 50s, it's just that perhaps the 30-year nostalgia cycle, but maybe... oh my god. But maybe fashion moves in a different circle. Honestly.
Oh no, I think there's I'm not too much of an expert either, but I do have a TikTok, so I can witness the resurgence of Y2K fashion and barrettes, plastic barrettes and crimping of hair and things like that are coming back in style that were shit that I was embarrassed of my mother doing on me when I was a kid in the 90s. So it's it's cyclical coming back. And I think that this show itself definitely has a huge pull because those styles are just it's a beautiful show. Beautiful people in the show, save for a few.
Damn. All right, who's your Uggo? Who's your Uggo of the week? That's our new segment.
I'm not gonna judge, but it's just if we want to get into that, James, his forehead.
Yeah, the infamous. When I was looking up a picture of the lad to say this is what the ideal man looks like, the first thing that came up was Twin Peaks James forehead. Was. It
feels so.
He's
bad.
got a 5 head or a 6 head. I know we're just making fun of the way a man looks now, but
no, I mean he does I think they emphasized him with his very grumpy over or under the brow type of brooding high school boy whose girlfriend just died but he didn't really love her, that type of thing, and all this
what a
sad stoic biker boyfriend.
What a weird casting for the sad stoic biker boyfriend. What a weird person
weird
to cast. His energy is so the opposite of what you would initially think to cast. And not the last time Twin Peaks will strangely cast a biker. See also Michael Cera, but it's such a bizarre casting choice. And I don't fully understand it, and it appears that perhaps I am not alone.
I don't think, and this is just knowing, and I feel like I keep doing this, but I just feel like throughout the entire show, James never really finds his character, and I don't think they ever wrote him to really be a full-fledged character. Like, as much as I don't love Donna, but she is she is a well-written best friend whose best friend has died, the widowed best friend. She is a well-written character for that. And I think she and I was really noticing it with her, her family, with her dad, the doctor, and her mom, and her sister, who rarely ever shows back up, is such a character that was the only character of privilege in this entire town, as far as a happy and comfortable family.
Right.
The blossom of the night type of thing. But I think I don't know if James ever really got his. I know, and she just fucking sneaks out, and then her dad is like, "We're so lucky to have a daughter like you." Come the fuck on. She snuck out of the house and terrified you that she you thought she was fucking dead, and now you're thanking her for doing that.
And I know that parents sometimes have, blind spots for their own kids, but you really your daughter snuck out during the murder times after her best friend died, and you don't have a little suspicion,
just a little lecture in there.
You don't have a little I guess I'm not saying you should automatically think your daughter is guilty of crimes, but you don't have any questions about what she was doing. You're just oh, my perfect,
he was just
loyal daughter.
He was I know you well enough to know that if you did it for a reason.
I don't know, man.
Not that you're a fucking minor that could have been murdered after your best friend was murdered literally the day before.
Literally the day before, right? And
we trust you. We trust you, Donna.
You don't want to, don't want to bring that up a little bit. I don't know, man. Not how I do it, but I'm not a parent. What do I know?
Yeah, who knows?
I certainly don't. I don't know it. Goddamn.
Not about parenting, for sure.
No,
a masterclass in parenting from this show, for sure. We'll look at Leland
absolutely.
And what's her mom's name?
Oh, I have no fucking idea.
Can't remember.
Mrs. Leland.
Sarah. Leland and Sarah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's sounds good. Yeah, we haven't talked about. He's not in this episode a whole lot. My man Ray Weiss, and I love him. What a great actor. What a guy I'm always happy to see. I'm starting to actually connect some dots here. That I think the creators of the aforementioned How I Met Your Mother really like Twin Peaks, because Kyle MacLachlan and Ray Weiss both have recurring roles on How I Met Your Mother.
What?
So I'm starting to... Ray Weiss plays, this will mean nothing to you, but the father of Robin Scherbatsky.
I know the characters.
Who is our Kobe Smulders' dad,
yes,
on TV.
Yeah.
And Kyle MacLachlan played a character called the Captain, who was obsessed with nautical stuff and made everyone refer to him as the Captain, who I believe also dated the character Robin Scherbatsky. There was something about the Canadian character on How I Met Your Mother that they just zoned in Twin Peaks cast members. I guess they were fans. That's what I'm getting from this. There simply was not enough screen time for me to get a true read on the guy in this pile alone. There were a lot of characters. Characters that were being introduced, some of whom so far have no relation to Laura Palmer, so I'm curious as to why they're on the show. But I guess I'll find out why the owner of the log mill is important. I guess I'll learn that later.
You will. Yeah.
Okay.
I think what's so lovely about this, and I don't even think it's a spoiler, is what makes Laura's death so traumatizing for this town is that she did have a relationship with so many people in this town as being kind of like a beauty queen, not beauty queen, but like prom queen, like extracurricular earning, volunteer driven, like teenager that was like had the facade of being, you know, I don't even know if there's a word for it, but she had like this whole trope illusion around her that was like she was the
golden girl. She was the
she was the quote unquote
everyone's
girl next
favorite
door. Yeah.
You know, the picturesque, you know, like, oh, she's smart, she does extracurriculars, everyone knows her, everybody likes her. And somehow, that seems to be more going on there. Oh.
Yeah.
What are we going to
so
do
much
about
more.
that? Oh my god, that's so oh no. Oh, that's not good. I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out what else is going on with Laurel Palmer.
Yeah, she's a, I don't know. I love her character so much. I think she's, I don't know. It's so hard to talk about it within the just singular context of the pilot. And I think you just see her as the corpse. I don't even think outside of the picnic video, which is also like really quite cute and lovely. But I don't know, there's something with seeing a character singularly as a corpse that is like the like quote unquote exquisite corpse that, you know, all of these characters are reacting to, and is like the conduit of all of these characters, like sorrow and trauma and pain, that like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Kind of like, maybe I should have thought of this before I started talking about it. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, if you want to think about everything before doing it, you will be a terrible podcaster. You need
whoever is listening to this right now knows that I am definitely the superior podcaster of the two of us.
Listen, I just know
with
how to
all
yak.
With all of my complete thoughts.
I just know how to fucking yak on and start talking and then eventually fill it in. It's a learned skill, you know?
Yeah. Learn it. Maybe I'll learn it.
Yeah, you just need time to learn it, you know? You've only just started, you know, and it really you just need to it just takes time. You know how you get to fucking Carnegie Hall, don't you?
Yeah.
Practice. Get the fucking Carnegie Hall, don't you? Practice.
Yeah, that's
as simple as that.
That's the right accent.
Well, it's in New York. Carnegie Hall's in New York. Mind you.
Yeah, but Brad Pitt's character was from Maynardville, Tennessee.
Well, Quentin Tarantino did not invent that phrase, actually. It existed before him. I don't know if you know this about Quentin Tarantino. He likes to kind of remix things a little bit. He's I know you think everything in his movies is purely original, but if you you can look up these great videos, say every reference in, and they'll tell you where he got all his great ideas.
I appreciate the pandering.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. Perfect. Great. Any other thoughts on this here pilot for the television show Twin Peaks? We've had a good hour, I think.
We have had a good hour. Who's your favorite character so far?
Oh, Dale Cooper. And it's not even like it's not even like not Dale Cooper,
but like
okay, fine.
Dale.
If we're excluding Dale Cooper, if we're taking him out of the equation, then the one who's not Kitty, the secretary. I don't Lucy. Lucy is my favorite character so far.
Oh, that's nice. Any particular reason?
She was funny and she made me laugh, and I thought that was nice. I'm not interested because she's like a very deep character, but honestly, you know, with all these fucking morose teens, it's like it's very nice to get just like the funny secretary character. I was a big fan. Who are you expecting me to say?
I don't know, honestly.
One of the hot ladies, I guess.
No.
Yeah, no.
I was just curious.
Yeah. That's it. So yeah, I guess we can keep checking back in on who's my favorite character who is not Dale Cooper. A race that I am not. Again, I don't think will get interesting until the return. At which point, I think the fucking all bets are off. And I don't think we're ranking anything on this one. I don't know what we would rank episodes. I don't think so.
I don't even know if this is quite the show yet for ranking.
I don't think so. And not all art needs to be reduced down into ranked and numbered lists. Yeah. Some of it, sometimes it's fun. I do it all the time on letterboxd.com. But sometimes you can just let something be, and we'll keep
let it grow.
Track of it. Yeah, exactly. Maybe something will organically arise, or maybe it won't. And
I mean, you have not seen the middle of season 2.
Yeah.
So we will revisit this conversation.
We'll have to think about things to entertain ourselves. We'll have to find new methods.
Oh, I know. I think we'll have plenty to talk about.
Oh,
honestly,
good.
But...
yeah, there's that one guy that you brought up to me. His name escapes me.
Wyndham Earl.
Yeah, Wyndham Earl. And
the people listening to this who have seen it understand.
They know. I'm sure Vern Tooley, who did our artwork, is like, "Ooh, that Wyndham Earl." And he threw his hat on the ground and he stomped on it like a cartoon, like Yosemite Sam. He went, "Tarnation, that Wyndham Earl," and that'll be good. I kept the fun joke about Wyndham Earl that we had was that I kept just saying plot points from the book Frankenstein about Wyndham Earl, and you kept saying that they were close, which was like, that was fucked up. Do you still have those screenshots of that conversation?
I probably do, yeah. I just need to remember when we were talking about that so I can go back and look, but yeah, I did say that.
Yeah, we'll touch base. I think just by virtue of the fact that I lived where I lived, but you and I were talking every day, it was September. So that is where you'll have to go back to. But this is fun. Emma, next week, how many episodes are we talking about? What are we looking at next week?
Next week?
Well, next week wink, next time, wink.
Oh, yeah, next week. I don't know, I think we could do... Wink. I don't know. Initially, I was like, I think we should do the first season one at a time. But I actually watched... This morning, I got up really early and I watched the first episode, but then I just kept it going. The second and the third episodes might be okay to do together.
We might want to lump those up. Yeah, that's what I'm asking. I think we'll touch base with you at the end of every episode, and you will tell me
because inevitably I will have watched the next episodes following it, because I don't want to stop.
Yeah, and you will be reminded of whether or not they are interesting enough to have a whole podcast episode about. Yeah. That's how we'll do it. If you're playing along at home, just like Emma will tell us what we're watching next week, because I have no fucking idea. I was booking the Community episodes left and right, but I've seen that show many times, and I've seen Twin Peaks 0 times. So I have nothing, and I am not looking up some fucking chaotic watch guide where they're like, actually, you can skip all these episodes. No. Twin Peaks, honestly, one of the things that's kept me out of getting...
every episode.
Yeah, goddamn. I hate when you get to those watch guides and they're like, skip these. They're just like, they don't advance the plot. They're just character stuff. And I'm like, I like character stuff. Honestly, something that kept me out of getting into Twin Peaks sooner was like, if you talk to a Twin Peaks fan, they're like, oh, yeah, 90% of it's garbage. Oh, yeah, no, but like, oh, the good stuff is good. Like, oh, but you just can't watch most of the very long second season.
That's the thing. It's like that's the perfect word. It is too long. They gave them too much to work with, and so they, as true artists, inevitably failed with too much freedom. But honestly, in it, there's still good shit in it. So they couldn't stop. They couldn't stop. They're just like, let's just go deeper. Let's just keep going. Let's just fill up the time. We've got this like half-assed idea. Let's go with it. But the characters persist. And then we get to where we needed to go towards the end of the season. And I think most of it is still worth watching for that. It's not like our favorite characters just dipped out as far as character development went. Some of them just aren't, as good as like these first couple episodes that we're going to cover as far as character development goes. Yeah.
No, for sure. And there also was that weird thing, to my understanding, that CBS made them reveal who the killer was in like the middle of the second season, which seems for this show
horrible.
Pretty bad decision, actually. Seems like maybe not a great idea to do it in like the middle of the second season. Maybe not a great idea. I get why you can't do it at the end of the season, because then no one will come back next season, but like weird call.
And it sits really weird and like in the whole like scheme of the second season, because it's like, okay, now we know, and so us as audiences are like, this is what we're here for. Why are we still in this town?
Why would I keep hanging out here? I guess I like the characters, but like we know who killed Laura
Dale
Palmer.
just keeps hanging out in this town.
Right, he has no reason to be here, and I liked him a lot, actually. But I'm starting to get a weird,
we're all still here, I guess.
why is this a good decision for him to keep being here, but also keep being an FBI agent? Just like doesn't make a ton of sense. Oh well. I guess we'll get there. When we come to it.
Yeah.
Fucking Star Trek The Next... You ever talk to a Star Trek The Next Generation fan when they're like trying to get you into the show and they're like, okay, you have to skip pretty much everything in the first and second seasons, and then honestly it's pretty hit or miss after that, but ooh man, the good episodes. And I'm like, this sounds hard. It sounds hard to live your life.
It's like Doctor Who though, honestly.
Oh Jesus Christ. Well, I've never gotten into that show either.
Really?
No. I had some friends in college try to get me into it. I watched a little of the Tenet stuff. I watched a little of the first one I ever saw was my freshman year of college. Someone who lived in the area like invited us over to their parents' house to watch cable, to watch like a mid-season premiere or a season premiere, and the first thing I ever saw Doctor Who do was step out of a TARDIS and say, "Let's kill Hitler," and I was like, this show's weird. Everyone likes this show.
Matt Smith.
That was Matt Smith, but then I later went back and watched more David Tennant, and I thought it was honestly my favorite Doctor Who that I've seen. Christopher Eccleston, thought he was great. Those episodes are weird and interesting.
So genuine,
so genuine and so strange, and so unique.
I know. I've got a bit of a soft spot for Matt Smith myself, because I think he was my first Doctor, or at least the one that like when I started getting into Doctor Who when I was in high school, he was the one where like the current Doctor, I guess, in putting out like newer episodes at the time. But no, I agree. I enjoyed Christopher Eccleston's character, or his Doctor, so much more than any of them to date, I think. But that's not to say that I started and stopped watching it in high school.
I just never got into it. I get it. Everyone assumes that I did because of everything about me, and I understand that. It's the Star Wars thing where everyone just like assumes I'm really into Star Wars, and that's not like a big problem in my life. Like I can just say like, oh, I'm not really into it, but everyone just like assumes that I'm really into Star Wars, and I simply don't care. I think a couple of the movies are good. Some of the games are fun. Those are fun. You get to swing a sword around. That's great. But like, I'm not watching the cartoon show for babies, but everyone thinks that I do. That I watch all the cartoon shows for babies, and I don't do that.
Are you talking about the Clone Wars? Is that what you're
sure. And Rebels, and everyone's like, "Oh, they're really good," and I'm like, "I am not 8. I am not 8 years old." I've
seen all the movies. I have not seen any of the shows.
I have
except
seen
for Mandalorian.
Most of the movies, and I hear The Mandalorian is good.
No,
but then the second season they started bringing in a bunch of shit from the Clone Wars cartoon show, and I'm like, well, I don't want to watch this show now.
It's just like if you've seen a Western, you've seen all that The Mandalorian has to offer, and if you really don't give a shit about like Star Wars lore. Like the best episode in the second season was the one with Ahsoka Tano I think that's what her name is.
Rosario Dawson in Orange
Rosario
makeup.
Dawson.
Yeah.
She's the best part of it, which is fascinating. But like, if you don't give two shits about it, it's just like, okay.
I don't. She's from the cartoon show, which I didn't
I'm assuming
watch.
this is cool.
Did not watch the cartoon show, actually. Anyway, this has been our podcast about the first episode of Twin Peaks. This has been...
Let's shit on Marvel. Let's shit on Star Wars.
We're behind the paywall.
We will talk about Twin Peaks.
I am even more unbridled behind the paywall, right? And it's like... And you, God bless you. And, you know, I love my hosts, my co-hosts of Advanced Media Studies, but they want to talk about the MCU a lot. And I was very thankful when, before we pressed record, when I was like, do you want to talk about that Spider-Man movie you saw? And you were like, no. That was the best gift you could have given me, I think. So thank you for that. So yeah, we'll be back next week. So we're doing a double dip next time. And that'll be fun. That'll be a good time. And we are here waiting for Laura. A title we did not explain at all.
No.
in retrospect,
I don't think so.
Sure. It has a double meaning of people in universe waiting for Laura, and me personally waiting for the appearance of Laura Dern, who I've heard is on this show at some point, and I am waiting for her. Every episode, Laura Dern check. No Laura Dern in this episode.
We'll end every episode like that. Like, amount of Laura Derns in this episode? 0? Okay.
0.
We'll better luck next time.
Laura Dern watch. Days since Laura Dern appearance. 1.
Or 0.
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, this has been a damn fine podcast. That's how we're going to sign off. Yeah, you'll love that.
I'm an American pearl.